Yi Tian woke up from his sleep because of a nightmare. He got out of bed and looked out through the window at the city, wondering whether it was a hallucination from his awakening. 100 years ago, Earth had experienced a space rift, and with the arrival of alien beasts, humans were able to awaken their talents. While Tian was still looking out the window, his little sister knocked on his bedroom door. She asked him if he had experienced a talent awakening. Tian checked and saw that his talent was weak. He dropped the device he was using on the floor, wondering how he would protect his little sister if he couldn't become a warrior. His little sister entered the room and asked him how the talent test went. He told her not to worry and that he would become a powerful warrior. Upon hearing this, his sister was ecstatic, saying her brother was the best. She then told him that she had prepared his favorite dish and that he should eat before the food got cold. She made her way towards the door, with Tian following behind her. Suddenly, a notification appeared in front of him, informing him that his little sister's basic talent was better than his, and that her frost talent was very rare. His sister turned towards Tian and saw that he had stopped moving. She went and grabbed his hand, telling him to hurry up. However, the notification asked Tian if he would like to copy his sister's talent. He was surprised that he could actually copy other people's talents, but he chose not to copy his sister's talent because he didn't want to use it as an experiment. After he was done eating, he went out to the streets. While in the streets, Tian figured out that the effective distance to check other people's talents was only 3 meters, which was really short. However, he could at least copy a medium talent. He found a school that could possibly have many middle talented people, and with his awakened copy talent, he might become stronger than them. Tian started attending the school, and their teacher taught the class that to become a warrior, they must learn to forge and practice fitness with him. As the cyclone condensed in their chests, they would be successful. They were all sitting cross-legged on the floor, including the teacher. Suddenly, one of the students fainted, and then the whole class failed. The teacher told them that they were the worst group of students he had ever taught, and that they should learn from Cheng Dong, who was a little self-motivated. When the class was over, Tian was with Zhang, and he asked who Cheng Dong was. Zhang explained to him that Dong was a direct disciple of the dean and had become a warrior in half a month. He showed Tian a paper signed by Dong. Then they heard a commotion, and looking to where it came from, they saw Cheng Dong in the middle of his fellow students, trying to get his attention. Tian saw this as an opportunity to shake hands with Dong and copy his talent. Cheng Dong told everyone that he came to encourage them on behalf of the teacher. Tian asked him if he could shake hands, and they formed a line. When it was Tian's turn, he copied Dong's talent. Dong said goodbye to everyone and left. On a rainy night, Tian was in a cave when the notification bar appeared, telling him that he had successfully copied the talent and asked whether to integrate. Tian accepted, and he felt pain while fusing the talent, but he told himself that it was worth it. The notification informed him that the copy talent cooldown countdown was 30 days. He then tried the bodybuilding method taught by the teacher and succeeded. The rain stopped and he walked out of the cave. As he was walking in the street, he passed a father and a daughter going in the opposite direction. They were discussing what they would eat for dinner when a beast suddenly appeared out of nowhere and killed the father, while the little girl watched in horror. She cried for her father and people ran for their lives. Tian saw the beast that was about to lunge at the child, so he picked her up and ran, with the beast chasing him. A warrior by the name of Captain Wind Wolf blocked Tian and the girl from the beast. He turned to Tian and told him to let him handle the Silver Moon mink while he protected the girl. Captain Wind Wolf fought with the beast using his sword. Tian covered the little girl's eyes, telling her not to look. When the captain saw that the beast was fast, he called his teammates. Together, they managed to stab the beast, and it dropped to the ground, seemingly dead. However, the beast got back on his feet and ran. Tian told Captain Windwolf that the beast was running away, but he assured him that the beast could not escape them. One of the warriors was on the rooftop of a building. She shot her arrow and stabbed the beast in its back. This time, they were convinced that the beast was dead. Tian noticed that the beast was still moving. It got back on his feet again and growled. The captain warned his teammates to be careful and told Tian to leave, but he didn't listen. Thinking it was his opportunity to copy the beast's talent, he lunged at the beast and punched it, and the notification informed him that he had succeeded in copying the ferocious beast's talent. He kept on punching the beast until the captain grabbed his hand and told him that it was enough because the beast was dead. Then he told his teammates to clean up and instructed the female warrior to take care of the little girl. The captain told Tian that he was good, and when he became a warrior, he should join with his Wind Wolf squad. When he arrived home, he washed off the blood and went to Ye Yu's room, where he found her sleeping. He covered her with a blanket and walked out, thinking of the scary beast he had encountered that day. He told himself that he must become a warrior as soon as possible in order to protect her. He entered his room and sat on the bed, wondering what the beast's talent was, and if it could be integrated into a human's body. However, he encouraged himself that if he wanted to protect important people, he must do it, even though it was life-threatening. He took a cloth and put it in his mouth to prevent making noise when he screamed. The talent copying process for the speed talent began, and he felt excruciating pain. He could feel his bones breaking, and he thought he was going to die. So he started saying his sister's name. Then everything went dark for him. The next morning he woke up and was surprised that he could move without feeling any pain, and that his body felt light. The notification bar appeared in front of him, informing him that he now had a medium training talent and beginner speed talent, meaning the talent had been copied successfully. Tian went to the forest to practice his newfound speed talent when Zhang showed up, asking if he was already a warrior. Tian told him he was, and then Zhang asked if he wanted to increase his strength faster. When Tian inquired if he had a way, Zhang explained that he had only improved faster than him because he drank the blood of the beast. Tian was surprised that the blood of the beast had such an effect, which made him remember the beast he had killed the other day and all the blood he had wasted. Zhang told Tian that he had a way of obtaining the beast's blood. When Tian asked how, Zhang explained that the leaders and managers of the Linbai base had opened up a wild area outside the city, specifically reserved for 5 colleges to carry out trials. The prize for the trials was the beast's blood. Zhang then asked Tian to join his team, but Tian said he would have to team up with him next time and walked away from Zhang. Zhang told Tian that he thought they had a good relationship and didn't expect him to be so ruthless. Then he shouted for Tian to wait for him, saying that even if they didn't form a team, they were still good friends. As Tian walked, he talked to himself, saying that a team consisted of too many people and could expose his abilities. Tian went to the teacher's office to sign up for the trial, but the teacher told him that the trials were not meant for him. Tian replied, stating that he was already a warrior and eligible to participate. The teacher threw a piece of paper at Tian's face, saying that he really wanted him to live for a few more days. Tian saw the paper was a life and death contract, and the teacher told him that if he wanted to participate in the trial, he must sign it. He signed the contract and left the office. Meanwhile, Ye Yu had woken up and went to the kitchen, where she found her breakfast and a note on the table from Tian, saying he had gone to an event that would take place for 3 days. At the trials, many participants from 5 colleges were present. No Xiaobei was telling his bodyguard that the 5th rubbish college dared to participate in the trial. The bodyguard told him that it meant in the trial he could not only hunt beasts, but also hunt people, so the more weak ones, the better. Xiaobei replied to the guard that being hunted by the strong was also a blessing. Zhang explained to Tian that No Xiaobei was the genius of the First Academy, the school master of the younger generation of the Mo family. Suddenly, a swordsman genius of the Second Academy named Lin Yunjing walked towards Xiaobei with his sword in hand. The guard asked Yunjing why he dared to join their First Academy camp, but Yunjing ignored him and told No Xiaobei to get out or he would kill him. Tian then started cheering loudly for Yunjing, making him wonder if he wasn't scared of No Xiaobei. Then a voice came through the megaphone informing them that fighting was prohibited outside the wild area and violators would be disqualified. Lin Yunjing walked towards Tian and asked for his name. Tian replied. The notification bar told Tian that Yunjing had a cultivation talent of secondary swordsmanship, a medium talent. When Tian heard that Yunjing had a good knife skills, he extended his hand for a handshake so that he could copy his talent, and he succeeded. The gates opened, and they announced that the First Academy should go first. When it was the 5th Academy's turn, Tian separated from his fellow 5th Academy students. The moment he entered, he came across a snake beast. Tian lunged at it and killed it with his first attack, earning himself a point. After that, he took off at full speed hunting for more beasts to kill. Then he heard a person screaming for help. He arrived at the location and saw Zhang surrounded by wolf beasts. It lunged at Zhang, but Tian shot it with his arrow from where he was standing and killed it. Then he told Zhang that all the points would be his. Zhang told Tian to run because Cheng was no match for the wolves. But Tian killed all the wolves using his knife talent. Zhang was surprised. And then Tian told Zhang that he took all the wolves' teeth. Zhang replied saying that he doesn't mind. Ye Tian asked Zhang whether the situation would continue. And Zhang replied with a sad face saying he has given up because the trials are so dangerous. And he's glad he survived while his teammates were seriously injured. And he had to get them out. When Tian was about to walk away, Zhang told him that there was a pseudo-regional beast in the depths of the wild. He heard the people from the First Academy besieging a 10-meter-long spotted snake. And it was said that it had reached the level of a pseudo-regional beast worth up to 500 points. Upon hearing about the points, Tian grabbed Zhang's shoulder, asking him to point out the direction. When Zhang did so, Tian took off at full speed, telling himself that he must get those 500 points. He arrived at the location and found the students of the First Academy lying lifeless on the floor. Then he saw something like an explosion in the distance. He ran towards it and hid on top of a building. From there, he saw Xiao Bei, his bodyguard, and his fellow students of the First Academy fighting the beast. The guard told Xiao Bei that it was a good time to kill the beast because it had run out of energy. Xiao Bei lunged at the beast and stabbed it between the eyes, thinking he had killed it. He walked past his fellow students towards the beast to get his points. But the beast got back on his feet, growled, and escaped. The other students were scared when Xiao Bei told them that it was not a fake beast but a real one, worth 1,000 points. So they must go after it. Tian, standing on the roof, overheard the information about the beast's points. Since he was faster than them, he took off in the direction the beast had gone. He started searching until he found the beast drinking some fluids. Tian shot his arrows into the beast's eyes, and then he slayed it. Then he took a bottle from his bag and took some of the fluids the beast was drinking. He gouged out the beast's eyes and drained the beast's blood. After destroying the wrench that was dripping the fluid the monster was drinking from, he left. Mo Xiao Bei's team arrived and found the beast dead and the blood and eyes gone. They wondered who had done such a thing. Tian was on the top of the building watching the students of the First Academy walk out of the building, and he heard the guard telling Xiao Bei that the guy who stole his points should be found. He asked what he should do next, and he was told that they must find the thief. Then Tian left the roof and sat down, taking out a bottle from his bag and drank the fluid to improve his strength. He figured out that the training is so much faster after drinking the blood of a beast. Outside the gates, the surviving students gathered, and their points were being calculated by a female teacher. Lin Yunxing got 195 points. Mo Xiaobei got 472 points. The students congratulated Mo Xiaobei for becoming the first with 472 points. But Mo Xiaobei told them that the winner has more than 1,000 points, and the students gasped. The female teacher spoke, saying the ones who survived have already came out of the wild. Then Tian's teacher said that means Xiao Bei is number one, and then Tian appeared. Ye Tian reached the teacher's desk and emptied his bag in it. He asked the female teacher what his total score was. She announced that it was 1,163 points, and he won the first prize in the trial contest, rewarded the Ultimate Monster Right 3, except 100,000 yuan in cash. Zhang was happy for Ye Tian, and Yunxing wondered how Tian had done it. Mo Xiaobei told the guard to find out more information about him. Zhang was busy being happy that his college had won the trial. His teacher told him that he's ignorant. Then Zhang asked him why he's so unhappy that Tian won. The teacher told him that it's because he offended the Mo family. Tian, Xiaobei, and Yunxing were told to stand together to take a photo because they scored the highest scores. Xiaobei told Tian that he got a lot of nerves for stealing something that belonged to Mo Xiaobei's family. Tian arrived home and his little sister went to hug him. Tian told her that he brought presents for her. Then he took out the prize money he won and gave it to her, telling her to keep it for school and her daily expenses. Then he told his younger sister that he bought a treasure book. He opened it and found the geocentric fluid wrench. He saw the beast drinking from before he killed it. Then he realized that the geocentric fluid would enhance the talents to get to the level of the beast. Ye spoke, holding a bottle in her hand. She said the fluid in the bottle enhances one's talent and told Tian to drink it, but he told her that he doesn't need it anymore, so he's going to make her drink it. She replied that it would be a waste considering the fact that his talent has not been awakened yet. Then the notification bar notified Tian that the human talent for night rain training is inferior and ice talent is not awakened. Tian was thinking that his sister is the next best thing, and if she drinks the fluid her mind would improve. He forced her to drink the fluid, and she did. Then he asked her how it tasted. She told him that it's nice and warm. He asked what was going on, and the notification bar told him that the human talent for night rain training is inferior, and ice talent has not awakened yet. Tian asked what was happening, and the notification bar told him that the human leaf cultivation talent subclass, cold talent primary, unawakened. Then Yeyu yawned and told Tian that she was sleepy. When she wakes up, she'll make him dinner. He told her to get some rest. Then she fell asleep on the couch, and Tian was sitting on the floor cross-legged doing his cultivations. He noticed the strong talent swing from Yeyu. The notification appeared again, saying Yeyu's medium cultivation talent and ice talent primary unawakened. Tian was surprised that a person could go up to 2 levels in a row. He was thinking while he picked up a bottle that contains the beast's blood from the floor that his younger sister has medium cultivation talent, plus a rare cold talent. Then he encouraged himself that he's sure he could become a top martial artist. He looked at the bottle in his hand and said that he would never lose to Xiaobei. He drank the beast's blood and was surprised that it was 8 times the cultivation increase, and the auxiliary effect of the ultimate beast's blood is so scary. If he had enough blood, he could even break through the martialist realm, but sadly he had only 2 bottles left. The next morning while he was practicing in the forest, Zhang ran towards him and told him that Xiaobei went to the martialist realm. He wanted to become a martial artist first, and then he could come after Tian. Tian told Zhang that he was also practicing, and he's not scared of Xiaobei. Meanwhile, Mr. Mo was happy that his son Xiaobei has succeeded in becoming a martial artist. Then he told Xiaobei to remember to go to dinner because he would be preparing his favorite dish to celebrate. When his father left, Xiaobei asked the guard if the things he had explained to him before he closed down were checked out. The guard told him that the boy has no one to turn to, so he can bully him. Then he told the bodyguard to find a shadow hunter to kill Tian. Tian was practicing his sword talent at night in the rain, so when he was about to head home, he encountered the shadow hunter. The notification told him the human Li Gun cultivation talent is 2nd class, shadow talent primary. Then the shadow killer lunged at Tian, and he asked him who he was. He told Tian that he's the one who was going to kill him. Then Tian realized that he must have been sent by Mo Xiaobei. The killer's talent made him invincible, but Tian managed to kill him without any problems. Before he died, Tian asked him who had sent him, and he confirmed that it was Mo Xiaobei. After the shadow killer died, Tian copied his talent. The notification told him that the human night training talent is medium speed talent, elementary method, talent medium shadow talent, elementary. Then Tian smirked, saying he got the shadow talent gift. Tian buried the shadow killer, saying, "Born to be human, shouldn't be left to be blown like a fallen leaf." After he finished burying the shadow killer, he went home, showered, and sat on his couch, looking at the things he took from the shadow hunter. He picked up 2 knives that are supposed to be reinforcements, but he dropped them and picked up a gold card that cost 1,000,000 and 100,000 for a white one. He calculated that all the cards that were on the table and it made 3.5 million. He laughed and said he would make good use of the money Mo Xiaobei paid for his life. Next, he picked up the book and read about the shadow knife bronze level knife skills, that the knife skill of the sword can give full play to the power of the talent of the sword. He went to his room to read and give episode 1 a try, and when he was about to start reading, lightning startled him. Then he remembered that his younger sister is not yet back home. He realized that if Xiaobei sent someone to assassinate him, then he most definitely knows everything about him. He climbed out of his bedroom window barefoot, thinking that Mo Xiaobei could have sent someone to assassinate his baby sister. He arrived at Yeyu's school, thinking that it's an ordinary school. Talented people don't go there to kill people. But a man like Mo Xiaobei wouldn't abide by the warrior's boundaries. Then he found his little sister and asked her what took her so long to go home, and she replied saying she's on cleaning duty. Then she asked him why he came out without an umbrella and shoes. He told her that he forgot because he left the house in a hurry. Meanwhile, Xiao Bei was watching them in his car, and he wondered how Tian was still alive. As they were walking back home, they stopped at a shop and bought sausages. They continued walking while having a conversation. Then Tian noticed that a black car was following them. They arrived home and Tian looked through the window outside their apartment, and he saw the same car that was following them. The next morning, Ye Yu went to school and Tian was on the rooftop of a building. He saw the same car in the school's parking lot, and after some time the car left and he followed it. Meanwhile, Xiao Bei was busy at a warehouse beating up an old man who owed him money. The man pleaded with him that he didn't have the money, and if he had, he would give it back to him. But he didn't consider what the old man said. He told the old man that if he didn't pay the money, he would double it the following day. The old man told Xiao Bei that his interest was too high, so he wouldn't give him the money. Then he asked him to let him go because he had a son and a daughter. Then the guard he sent to follow Tian's sister arrived. Tian was also in the warehouse, but he used the shadow hunter's talent to become invisible. Xiao Bei asked the security guard about the shadow hunter, and he replied saying he hadn't gotten in touch with him, but he could also get in touch with someone else. Xiao Bei walked towards the old man, and he beat the man to death. Even the guard was shocked that the old man was devoted to him, so he couldn't believe that he did this. One of his guards checked the old man's pulse and told him that he was dead. Xiao Bei ordered him to throw away the corpse. Then he asked the security guard whether he had figured out what to do with Tian's sister. The guard told him that he was thinking of giving her to one of his friends who just got out of prison, but he decided to take care of her himself. Xiao Bei smirked and punched the guard in the stomach. When he asked why he had punched him, Xiao Bei told him that it was a punishment for doing the wrong thing. Tian was watching all of this, and then he jumped out of his hiding and used his weapon of origin on Xiao Bei. Xiao Bei dropped to the ground lying in a pool of his own blood, and the guards gasped. Tian came out of the shadows and walked towards the guard slowly. The guard asked Tian how he got the shadow hunter's talent, but Tian didn't respond. He kept walking slowly towards him. Then he took out a cloth with a message written on it and wiped the blood from the sword. Then he threw it on the ground and left. Moments later, Mr. Mo arrived at the scene. He saw his son's dead body and cried. One of the security guards handed him the cloth. Then Lao Zi arrived. Mr. Mo crawled towards him while crying that their Mohist genius was dead. Lao agreed that he was the hope of his Mohist young generation, and that the position of Lin Hai base is bound to be greatly enhanced. Mr. Mo handed the cloth to Mr. Lao and said that his son must not die in vain. They must revenge his son's death. When he read the message, Mr. Lao said that it must be the families they have a vendetta against. They hired a shadow killer. Mr. Lao saw a symbol on the cloth. He gasped and said that it's the end of the world. The next day, Tian was with Zhang at the academy. Zhang was telling him that the Iron Cliff base was much more powerful than their coastal base. The old master of the Merc family doubted some of the families of the oceanfront base were working with the Iron Cliff base, slaughtering the younger generation of the strong and annexing the territorial base. He also told Tian that he had heard Mo Xiaobei was killed as soon as he broke through and his head was cut off. Tian laughed, thinking to himself that no one seems to know what he did. The next morning he woke up early. While he was tying his shoelaces, Ye Yu asked him where he was going so early. He told her that he was going to the wilderness. She hugged him and told him to be careful. He arrived at the wilderness and suddenly the ground started shaking. He wondered if it was an earthquake, and then a beast appeared in front of him. The notification bar told him that the armored bull's defense talent is tickling. The beast ran towards him, and he dropped his bag on the ground and lunged at the beast with his weapon of origin in hand. He tried to stab the beast, but it covered itself with a shield ball, and the sword couldn't get past it. Then he carried his two swords, one in each hand, walking towards the beast. He spoke, saying that it was a good talent, and he said he lost his defensive talent like Thorn. Then he lunged at the beast, saying that no matter what kind of creature, the most vulnerable place must be the eyes. He went directly for the eyes, but the beast formed the shield ball again. He kept trying to break the shield, but he ended up breaking the knife. He got distracted by the broken knife, and he didn't see the attack coming from the beast. It punched him, sending him flying to the hills. He coughed, then got up from the ground. Then the notification told him that the duplicate talent cooldown countdown is 16 days. He picked up the handle of the broken knife and looked at it, thinking that the strength of the ironclad bull should be below the silver moon sable and above the silver moon snake. He dropped the handle on the ground again, thinking that the beast he's fighting is big, but as long as he finds its weak point and sneaks an attack, he still has a chance to win. He activated the shadow talent, attacked the shield, and noticed that the beast didn't detect his attacks, but his sword still had no effect on it. He stood on a hill looking up at the beast, wondering where its weak point was. He looked at the defensive talent, seeing that it was 369 degrees without a dead end. Then he looked at the back of the beast and saw that the shield was weak, and figured that the chrysanthemum was its weakness. So he tried again with the shadow blade he had left and eventually killed the beast. He drained the beast's blood and put it in bottles. He carried his bag and left, looking for a quiet place to start cultivating. He was in a cave and drank the blood of the beast to start cultivating. He finished all the blood he had drained from the beast. Tian broke through the martial realm, and the energy could be seen from far away. 2 girls saw it. Meanwhile, Tian could feel the power gushing out, and he was in the martial realm. More than 20 days had passed since he killed the Iron Bull. He figured the cooldown should be over, so he got out of the cave and went in the direction of the dead Iron Bull to copy the defense talent. He tried to copy the talent, but the notification told him that the copy talent status was broken, and he couldn't finish copying it. It told him to select the object with a complete status and copy again. Tian talked to himself, telling himself he shouldn't have cut the beast into pieces so early. The 2 girls were watching Tian, and the younger girl asked her miss if she thought Tian had killed the beast. But she replied saying he had just broken through the martial realm, and the beast had been dead for a long time. The younger girl told the miss that it made sense because when the beast died, he was still a martial artist, so there was no way he could have killed the beast. Tian found an oasis, took off his clothes to clean up before he went home. On his way home, he found a market, and while walking around the market, he came across the 2 girls, and he recognized one of them as his sister, so he called out to her. Tian touched his forehead, wondering how Yeyu could be there. Then the little girl asked Tian who he was calling his sister, and she called him a rag picker. The other girl told the younger one not to talk nonsense, and she whispered to the little girl, telling her what to say to him. She walked back to Tian and told him that it was a mistake on Jade's part, and that her lady had already taught her a lesson. Then she begged him to forgive her, and she told him that they had to go back because she's the head of the martial arts pavilion. To express her apology, they would pay double the price of whatever he wanted to sell. They went to the store, and he was offered a cup of tea. He saw different kinds of weapons in the store. After selling the ironclad bull's toe and leather, the doubled amount was 400,000. She gave him denomination cards. Looking at the money, Tian couldn't help but think how happy his younger sister would be. The girl told Tian that the lady said whenever he shops at their store, he would get 50% off the entire shop as a token of their apology. Tian then bought 1 copy of the body forging method, 1 copy of the Beast Atlas, Ultimate Zone Beast Blood 3 times, and Clear Liquid 3 products. He gave them the items he bought, and the total was 785,000 after the 50% discount. He paid using the gold card, then he carried his bag ready to leave. The girl told him to stay, saying her lady wanted to talk to him. They went up the stairs and entered a room. He looked at the girl, and he saw the resemblance to his sister. She introduced herself as Yu Long from Bohai Base. And Tian also did the same. They did a handshake, and the notification bar said the advanced cultivation talent replicated successfully. Ling asked Tian to join their martial arts court. Tian looked at her, and he saw his sister asking him the same thing. He scratched the back of his neck, struggling to say no to her since he had never said no to his sister before. Tian told Ling that Bohai Base was a big community, and it should never be short on talent, not to mention he was just a junior. She told Tian that what makes a base large is not because there is a shortage of talent, but because there is always a need for talent. Upon hearing what she had said, Tian was thinking that it made sense. Unexpectedly, a girl who looked so small had such a big pattern. Then the young girl asked Tian what he was waiting for because it was a big opportunity. However, Tian was still hesitant because once his abilities were exposed, he would surely die without a burial place, so he declined the offer. Tian returned home to his apartment, and his sister welcomed him with a hug. While he was sitting on the couch, Ye came back with scissors and told Tian that she wanted to cut his hair because he looked like a beggar. Then Tian asked his sister if it was okay to cut his previous hairstyle, and she told him not to worry because she only knew that hairstyle after all. Tian then remembered that since their parents passed away, she had been the one who cut his hair. He also remembered when she was scared to cut his hair because of the injuries he had. She told him to go to the clinic, but Tian told her that it would cost them money. She dropped the scissors and started crying, saying it would be great if her brother had the power of a lighthouse jellyfish. Little Tian asked littler Ye what the lighthouse jellyfish was, and she explained that it is in the gray tales that she read for her, and that it has healing powers. Little Tian told his sister that the stories were not true, but she insisted that they were. Little Tian patted his sister's head, telling her not to worry. If he got his awakening, he would be able to heal. Coming back to reality, Tian ran to the bookshelf and took the treasure book. He looked for the lighthouse jellyfish and found it. He sat on the floor reading about the lighthouse jellyfish. He read that it was an aquatic murderer. Then Ye asked him what he was reading. When she saw that it was about the lighthouse jellyfish, she asked Tian if it wasn't from a fairy tale. Then she told him that everything in the story was a lie, told to children. Tian told her that some of it was actually true. She told him not to read until after his hair was cut. She finished cutting his hair, and then Tian went back to reading books. The book he was reading was about the power of the broken body method, which only dancers can practice. He read that the dancers start by hardening their skin, muscles, and bones. Then he sat down in his room, cross-legged, and tried the speed at which the original energy was absorbed before, which is the end result. Then he tried the effect of adding ultimate beast blood. He noticed that it was a triple wave enhancement. Then he told himself to practice at home first, and when the cooling time was over, he would go to the fire of death and look for a lighthouse jellyfish, a copy of its gift for healing. Tian went back to the Bohai base store to buy things. He asked the girl if they had the map of the Death Fox. She found the map and gave it to Tian. He looked at it, thinking that there must be good talents that could be copied in those places. He paid for the map and left, going to the Death Fox. When he arrived, he looked at the Lake of Death. The weird atmosphere felt dangerous at any time. Then he heard the sound of a beast. He used the Shadow Power Hunter to turn himself invisible and ran to hide behind the hill. He saw Long fighting a beast with her friend. Ling's friend looked at the beast and told her that the beast was a top killer. He pushed Ling and told her that he would stall the beast while she escaped first. Then they noticed that there were more beasts behind them. Ling's friend told her to be careful. Then she activated her secrecy talent. A flower symbol appeared on her forehead, and her hair color changed from black to pink. She started killing the beast one after the other. Meanwhile, Tian was just watching and thinking that the secret art is powerful, but too hasty. It's not something that a junior like him can get involved in because the fighting age is the peak of the elite dancers. And after the secret trick, there seems to be a big dancer. 10 more people were killed underwater. Ling's friend screamed in pain as the beast grabbed his legs with his mouth. He yelled at Ling to get going. She said it would not take them too long and that things were important. She should live up to her disappointment of the 10 brothers who died underwater. When she heard what he had said, she started crying. The flower disappeared and the pink hair returned back to black. She dropped the treasure box and fell to the ground. Tian walked towards her and picked up the treasure box, wondering what kind of treasure it was that made them spend so much money. Ling got a glimpse of Tian before she passed out. The beasts were still walking towards them, and Tian carried her to a cave and covered her with his jacket. He stared at her face, thinking she looked so much like his sister. She even had the same tear mole. After some time, Tian squatted beside her, wondering how long she's going to be in a coma. Then he saw that she was moving. She woke up and saw Tian and asked him if he was the one who saved her. Tian told her that it's just something that happened. She gave him back his jacket while wondering how he could come to the Lake of Death alone. Then she formed a dazzling light with her hands. He asked her what she was doing, and she told him that it's called a light stone. It can be a pestle and shine, and they can just use it as a lamp. She saw that he seemed interested to know more, so she told him that she would talk to him in detail after she's done taking her medicine. She took her medicine and cultivated. By the time she was done cultivating, Tian had fallen asleep. She woke him up and asked him if he wanted to know where it came from. She told him to watch. Then she picked up a purse and treasure box and told him that although the treasure box was bigger than the purse, she made the treasure box fit into the purse. Tian saw this and told her that she understood. It was not a space talent, but the treasure of spaced properties. When she asked if he wanted to learn, he walked away and told her that he's tired. She should go to sleep. He laid down on the floor thinking that when he copies the space talent and a healing talent, there's nothing rare. But the problem was that she messed up the Fox of Death. The next morning he woke up and found that Ling was gone, but she had left a box filled with the ultimate breaking of the force, 10 bottles of advanced beast insurance, and 10 gold cards of 1 million denominations. She left it to incite him. He drank 1 bottle of the advanced beast insurance, saying it was enough to make him become an elite dancer. Then he planned to become the elite dancer first and look for the jellyfish in the lake later. He managed to break through the realm of elite artist, and then he started hunting for the lighthouse jellyfish. He walked out of the cave and found graves that Yu Ling set for her dead friends before she left. Then he saw an umbrella on one of the graves, and he remembered seeing them using that particular umbrella when they were diving into the lake. He wondered if it could still be used. He opened the umbrella once it was raining, and he noticed that it was a water shield, so he could use it to enter the water. The speed under the water became faster. He activated his shadow talent. Then he saw something. The notification bar told him that it was a tiger claw, and its blood talent is medium. Then he realized that it was the ultimate fierce beast. With his shadow talent, the beast moved past him without seeing him. He continued to dive into the water. He reached the deeper part of the lake. He heard the growling of the beast. He wondered what that was, and the notification told him that it was a Turritopsis nutricula, blood talent primary, and has top-level healing talent. He reached for his sword, and the beast attacked him. He touched it and copied the healing talent. Then the beast threw him against the rock. He got back up, still holding the water shield umbrella. Then the beast spat venom on the umbrella, burning the water shield umbrella. He held his breath and saw more beasts coming towards him. He figured that since he copied the top healing talent, then there was no need to entangle with the animals. So he swam to the surface and used his speed talent maximum power and went back to the cave. The notification told him that the healing talent copy was a success, and it asked whether to fuse or not. He accepted fusing. After that, he went back home, and Ye Yu was giving him a haircut while he was reading a book, The Miracle Ant. The low-level fierce beast is usually in the form of ethnic groups, and during a group fight, a great martial artist cannot escape. He went back to the store, and the girl asked him what he wanted to buy. He passed a paper to her and told her the complete body of the miraculous ant. She told him that they have no magic ants, but if he's interested in the relevant information, he should listen. She explained to him that the coast base prepared to open a trade channel through a medium-sized base, and that there are many beasts between the two bases. She gave Tian a token to participate in the activity, and she said it was for the lady, but now they are from a big base. She also told him that they send warriors to clean up the fierce beasts on the trade channel. He arrived at the location and found more than 100 strong players were gathered. Mr. Lin of the Lin family, Mr. Mo of the Mo family, and Mr. Lao Zhou were all on the stage, and Mr. Lin welcomed them. He told them that there were some dangers in cleaning the coastal base, however the price was absolutely huge. Tian saw Captain Windwolf, and Mr. Lin told him that they had prepared another reward for martial artists. Each person could get 20 copies of the ultimate fierce animal blood plus 2 million gold coins. The elite martial artist could get 3 copies of high-level fierce animal blood and 1,000 square gold coins. Then they were told to go and register. They lined up to get tested on the test stone to measure their strength. When it was Tian's turn, he qualified for the larger stage. The people gasped and thought he might be a genius of some family because he was an elite dancer at such a young age. The Windwolf squad asked their captain to tell Tian to join their squad. Tian walked towards them and removed his hoodie. The captain recognized him. Tian asked to join the Windwolf squad during the operation, and the captain told him that he was welcome. When they asked about his powers, he told them that it was just a fluke. They went to their mission area and a pack of wolves surrounded them. The captain told the team to calm down and not to panic. Together they killed the beasts. The captain told Tian that he was not bad, but still one step slower than him because he had killed 3. Tian scoffed, knowing very well that he was only holding back, so that he could not risk exposing his strength. One of the warriors wondered why the wolves did not wait for them to enter their valley and attack later so that their chances of winning would be better. The other warrior told him that maybe it was not their territory, saying that there could be more powerful beasts. The first warrior was scared, and the other warrior told him that they had 2 warriors in their later stage and 3 warriors in the middle stage, so he should not be afraid. The captain showed them a link to the Lin family, stating that each captain was equipped with a communicator to ask for reinforcements in case of danger. They continued moving. While they were walking, they came across a fire-breathing lizard with primary blood talent and flame talent 4. When it attacked them, the squad told the captain to let them handle the fire beast. The captain agreed and warned them to watch out for the fire, saying that from the perspective of its breath, it was just a low-level fierce beast. They managed to kill the beast and were celebrating their victory when more fire-breathing beasts appeared. The captain tried to call for reinforcements, but they ignored his call. The captain turned to Tian and told him that he was talented, and it was a pity he had to die. He advised him to take his brothers and leave. As one of them had already run away, Tian replied that of course he would run, but he also said that it was just a chess game. He then walked towards the beast and activated his elite strength. The captain gasped and said that he could smell the scent of an elite dancer. The other warriors asked how that was possible, and Tian explained that he didn't want to show his real strength. But if he didn't, the Windwolf squad would be destroyed. Tian killed all the fire breathers with the captain's help, and they heard the guy who had tried to escape alone screaming for help as he was surrounded by wolves. One of the warriors wanted to go and help him, but the captain told him not to because he was being foolish for trying to escape the place all alone. The Tian expressed his desire to go deeper and asked if they wanted to join him. The captain told him that the Windwolf squad moved forward and backwards together. Tian told him to go back, that he would like to go home. When one of the warriors tried to protest, the captain told him to let him go, because they would only hold him back, and with his powers, he doesn't need their help. Meanwhile, Tian was walking alone and thinking that when meeting a stronger family and more complicated cases, he was to see how strong his healing talent is first. Then he stepped into a smelly area and wondered if he had reached their lair. A beast came out of a building, and he smirked, saying that the beast came in time to test his healing talent. He lunged at the beast, but it attacked him, sending him flying to the ground. Tian got back up and laughed, telling the beast to feel free to attack. The beast burned him with its breath, and he healed in no time. He grabbed his sword and lunged at the beast, stabbing it to death. The warriors told the captain that Tian was on fire, but the captain replied, saying that it's not the kind of battle you get involved in. Tian sat on the dead beast, feeling exhausted from all the healing. He made a cut on the beast's body and drank its blood to recover. After he cultivated, he walked back to where he had left the Windwolf squad. He asked the captain why they had not left yet. The warrior asked the captain what they should do with the loot. The captain told them that all of the credit is for Ye Tian. Tian told the captain that since they didn't go away and the herd had dispersed, they can take back the spoils. He told them not to worry about this mess outside and that they should first deal with the king of the butterfly inside. When the captain asked him if he wanted to come to carry the loot, he told him that he's going to the area of Magic Ant. The captain was surprised, but he told him to be careful. Tian reached a certain location and he found that all the troops were gathered there, including Mr. Mo and Lao Zhu. Tian saw the general and wondered which family he belonged to, but the general saw him spying on them and ordered the soldiers to capture him. When they caught him, the general saw that Tian had elite strength, so he asked him who he was and why he was spying on them. Tian replied, telling him that he was a warrior from the Linhai base and wanted to come when he heard about the big task to make a contribution. The general ordered the soldiers to let him go and asked which family Tian belonged to. But they replied that they didn't know. The general spoke to Tian, saying it's rare to become an elite dancer at a young age, and asked why no one knows him. Before Tian could respond, Mr. Lin replied, saying he's from the Lin family, and the general let him pass through. Meanwhile, the girl from the store and Ling were watching. The girl told Ling that she was right. Tian was with the Long family. Ling then scoffed and said that Tian only belonged to her first brother. They reached the ants' nest, and one guy reported to the general that everything was set. The general told them that no one would return, and Tian wondered what the old man was about to do. Then the general opened an array mage, and when Mr. Lin saw what the old man did, he spoke, saying that the strength of the base was really unpredictable. The two girls were still watching as it made holes in the ground, and people were wondering where the ants' bodies were. Suddenly, a huge ant jumped out of the hole, and more ants followed. The general yelled to kill the enemy ants, and Tian lunged at one of them, killing it and copying its talent. The notification told him that the high-power talent was successfully copied and asked whether to integrate. He saw that he could not integrate with the ants around, so he took off looking for a safe place to integrate. Then the high-level magic ant came out of the hole. Mr. Mo and Lao Zhu escaped, and the general also told the soldiers to retreat. But as they were running, the high-level magic ant used its black air to suppress momentum. However, Tian kept running faster and faster. Some of the soldiers were wondering how Tian was running faster while they were stuck in one place. Tian managed to escape, and while he was walking back to the area his squad was assigned to, he saw that the beast he had killed only had bones left, so he concluded that Captain Windwolf was a professional hunter. The notification told him that the high talent was copied successfully, and it asked whether to integrate. Tian accepted. After that, he went back home, and he was sitting on his couch cultivating. Ye Yu came and told Tian that he was pretending to be a master. Annoyed that he wasn't answering her, she went to the kitchen to cook, saying she should let him test the power of Miss Ben. She finished cooking and told Tian that dinner was ready. They sat at the dinner, and when he was about to take a bite, someone knocked on their apartment door. Ye Yu told Tian to take a bite first, then he can go and open the door. When he went to open the door, he was surprised to see that it was Captain Windwolf. Ye Tian invites the captain to come inside his house and asks him why he has come. The captain shows Ye Tian what is inside the bag and tells him that he has come to give him his share of the loot. Ye Tian tells the captain that they should eat. The captain compliments that the food looks delicious and starts eating. Ye Tian tells the captain to carry on because he's not hungry. The captain says it has been a long time since he has eaten much delicious home-cooked food. Ye Tian's sister asks the captain if the food isn't salty. The captain tells her that the taste is relatively light and she should put less salt. She tells him to eat happily. Ye Tian and the captain sit for a talk. The captain asks Ye Tian what he wanted to ask him. Ye Tian asks him what's going on outside the beast cleanup project, since he's been practicing at home and does not know what is happening outside. The captain tells him that the Iron Teeth base and Linhai base can be said to have had a heavy loss, and they lost numerous elite warriors. After their talk, the captain bids farewell to Ye Tian and his sister outside their house. A man shows up and introduces himself as Mo Yuan from the Mo family. He bows and shows the letter he is carrying to Ye Tian, saying it is an invitation from the Mo family, inviting Lord Ye Tian for a light meal. Ye Tian rejects the invitation. Mo Yuan tells Ye Tian that no one rejects an invitation from the Mo family, and he holds Ye Tian by the shoulder. Ye Tian dodges and injures Mo Yuan's arm. Mo Yuan is furious and tears the letter to pieces and reports to Xiao Bei and Mr. Mo, saying Ye Tian attacked him and tore the letter to pieces, rejecting the invitation. The homeowner and the ancestor sit and discuss a way to get Ye Tian to their side. They plan a way to bring him and erase his memory so that they can later convince him that he's a child from the Mo family. 10 elders of the Mo family are sent to Ye Tian's house, planning to kidnap his sister so that he can surrender to them. But they are surprised to meet great resistance from Ye Tian, who says he was expecting them. Ye Tian kills all the 10 elders and vows to kill the Mo family for trying to harm his family. Mr. Mo anxiously asks Xiao Bei why the 10 elders haven't returned yet. Xiao Bei tells his father not to worry because the 10 elders went together, and there is nothing that cannot be done by them in the Linhai base. Suddenly, a sword makes its way into the house of the Mo family, where Mr. Mo and his son, Xiao Bei, were discussing their issues. Mr. Mo is surprised and asks who dares to make trouble in their house. The sword returns to its owner, landing in the hands of Ye Tian, who is now inside their house. He tells Mr. Mo and his son that obviously they hired someone to kill him, and asks them to ask who he is. Xiao Bei confirms that it's Ye Tian and asks him why he's at their house. Xiao Bei screams, calling the 10 elders, but Ye Tian laughs and tells him not to worry because he will meet them soon in hell. Ye Tian swings his sword against Xiao Bei, killing him on the spot. Mr. Mo cries out while holding his dead son in his arms. Mr. Mo is now enraged and transformed, starting to fight with Ye Tian. Mr. Mo's men join the fight against Ye Tian, but he wipes them all out with his sword. Mr. Mo is surprised and wonders at the power of Ye Tian and what he possesses. After a few attempts to fight Ye Tian, Mr. Mo realizes he cannot win and tries to make an escape plan to go to the Lin family for help. Two elders watch the fight from outside and speak to each other, saying that there must be two great fighters battling inside the Mo's family house. Elder Z suggests taking a closer look, but his elder friend stops him. Mr. Mo's power is drained and he cannot run anymore. Ye Tian comes to him and tells him that it's over and he will reunite with his son in hell. Ye Tian tells Mr. Mo that he should go to hell and recover. Mr. Mo begs Ye Tian to forgive him and promises to give him the supreme treasure of the Mo family. Ye Tian tries to remember why the situation feels similar to him. Mr. Mo then brings out a weapon that releases poisonous sharp metal arrows and attacks Ye Tian, telling him that he will still die by his hands. Ye Tian uses his healing talent to heal himself from the poison. After seeing Ye Tian use his healing talent, Mr. Mo is surprised and asks why Ye Tian has so many talents. Ye Tian kills Mr. Mo with one of his small weapons and tells him to ask Hades about this problem. Windwolf Captain is on a roof, wondering why Ye Tian has not returned. He complains that he feels like he has become Ye Tian's sister nanny. Ye Tian shows up and hears the compliment. Ye Tian thanks the captain for watching over his sister, and the captain asks Ye Tian if everything is done. Ye Tian says it's finished, and that there shall never be a doomsday family again. Ye Tian asks the captain if there are any assassins around where they are, and the captain tells Ye Tian that it's safe, and that Ye Yu has just finished taking her sleeping pills and is resting. The captain tells Ye Tian that they should get down from the roof because it's cold. And on their way to the house, the captain asks Ye Tian what he will do next, since the Mo family has been removed. Ye Tian tells the captain that he wishes for Ye Yu to practice in advance, and asks if there is a way for ordinary people to awaken quickly. The captain tells him that if he's willing to spend money and resources, that is what rich kids do. Ye Tian says that it's simple. People are gathered at the Mo family's house and talk about how one man wiped out the entire family. They marvel at how powerful he must be. Lin Zi and Lin Zhe arrive at the scene to see what had happened. They talk about how unexpectedly the ancestor of the Mohist family ended up like that. Lin Zi and Lin Zhe talk about their plans, and Lin Zhe tells Lin Zi that he will personally deliver letters to the remaining family members and ask them to share Mohist resources. Ye Tian and Captain have brought different medicines for Ye Yu. Ye Yu tells her brother, Ye Tian, that he's crazy, and asks him if it's really medicine. Ye Tian tells her that they are genuine and precious. Ye Yu says that she saved the wife book with great difficulty, and must not be fooled by those who sell health products. Ye Tian tells her to try one first as he throws one in her mouth. After swallowing, Ye Yu says she feels light and comfortable, and Ye Tian giggles. Ye Tian, Ye Yu, and Windwolf Captain are outside of their house as Ye Tian is saying goodbye to them. Ye Yu asks Ye Tian if he really wants to go. Ye Tian tells her that he is going to Little Thousand Moon Forest because there's something that he wants. Captain tells Ye Tian that improving strength is indeed the most important thing at present because of what's going on in the bases. Ye Tian agrees that he should get stronger. Ye Yu complains that he has just gotten back recently and now he wants to go, and she must live alone again. Ye Tian tells her that she's not alone because the captain is with her, and she should study hard at home with the captain. He advises her to take all the supplements on time and practice well. Yeyu tells Ye Tian to be careful out there and that she will wait for him. Ye Tian tells Captain to take care of Yeyu for him. Captain tells him that she's also like his sister, so he must not worry. A biker and a car pass by the road where they are standing. Captain recognizes them as the Sun's team. Ye Tian recognizes one of the guys as one of the 4 geniuses of the young generation at the Iron Cliff base, who's also talented. Ye Tian says his goodbyes to Yeyu and Captain and makes his way. Ye Tian is walking in the forest and comes across a fight between the golden dragon leopard and a gorilla. He admires the speed of the golden dragon leopard and thinks it's faster than the black panther he was looking for. A little golden dragon leopard licks his boot, and he's startled. He asks it what it's doing and realizes it is a soul light.